नमस्कार सभी को. This is the second part of basic concepts of economics. In the last video, I have already taken three meanings, three terminologies. This video, I will be taking further topics, which has been covered under the same basic concepts of economics. These are some terminologies which you must be knowing the meaning. So let's start. Value. The points which I have covered here: value, price, wealth, production, and the last is input and output. Till 1, 2, 3 already covered in basic concept of economics. This since it is the second part, so here I have taken from the number 4. Already 1, 2 and 3 terminologies explained in the earlier part. So let's start. See, value usually understood from the economics point of view in two ways. First is value in use and another is value in exchange. So in economics, it has got two senses. Now, value in use means the capacity of want satisfaction possessed by a commodity. For example, during the summer season, water, a glass of water has a satisfaction capacity because that glass of water can quench my thirst. In the same way, during monsoon or winter season, a glass of milk, hot milk, or a cup of tea or coffee, they have a capacity to satisfy my want of getting something warmer beverages given the season requirement. So value in use, it usually refers to the capacity of a want satisfaction which is possessed, or which is the capacity of any commodity to satisfy the needs. For example, as I already said, during summer season, a glass of water has a capacity, right? It has got value in use because that glass of water can quench my thirst. In the same way, during monsoon or winter season, a glass of milk has a capacity to satisfy my want of getting some warmer beverages, right? Another way, our second sense in economics for the value is value in exchange. Here, an ability to be exchanged for other commodities. See, I have given an example. Say for a book is costing 50 rupees, whereas a shirt is costing 100 rupees. So, value in exchange means for getting one shirt, I can exchange my two books because one shirt is costing 100 whereas one book is costing 50 rupees. So to get one shirt, I must exchange my two books. So value in exchange means when you exchange a commodity for another commodity. This is value in exchange. Then the price. Price is something which you pay for exchange of value. For example, if I say a commodity can be exchanged, a commodity can be bought for 50 rupees. So here what I mean, I pay 50 rupees to get one commodity. So price is something which you pay to get something against by paying that price. So to purchase a commodity, you pay something. That is the price. That is the value of the commodity. That by paying 50 rupees, you are able to get the commodity. Now there is a difference between price and value. See, in the first former explanation, the value says which has the capacity to satisfy the want. Right? Now there can be two cases. If price of other commodity changes in the same proportion, so we say their exchange value is same, or vice versa. And if the price of other commodity does not change in the same proportion, we say exchange value will change. What I mean here, if you look into the example of book and shirt, you see the first point says if the price of other commodity changes in the same proportion. So for that point, say for book amount changes from 50 to 100 and shirt amount changes from 100 to 200. So you see here the new price of book is 100 and shirt is 200. That means both prices has been changed by 100%. So if the price of other commodity changes in the same proportion, if the price of book is changed by 100%, in the same way shirt prices also changes by 100%. That is why now the book becomes from 50, it has now 100 rupees, and shirt from 100 now it has become 200. So here we say the exchange value is same. But if it happens that the price of book is remain constant 50, whereas the shirt price has been increased from 100 to 200. So here we say the exchange will change. So you understood now that the price, if book and shirt both prices are changed by the same percentage, then we say the exchange value is same. But if the price of one of the commodity is changed, say for in this example we keep the price of book as it is and change the amount of shirt from 100 to 200, so here the exchange value will change. So this is the basic difference between price and value. Then the sixth one is wealth. So wealth is something, it's the stock of goods under the ownership of a person or a nation. Whatever the stock of goods is being possessed by a nation or an individual, it is called wealth. Now it has to be understood in two ways: personal wealth and national wealth. Personal wealth means whatever the stock of goods, for example, houses, furnitures, buildings, money in cash, money in banks, clothes, company shares, etc., which is exclusively owned by an individual or exclusively owned by one person. Whereas for national wealth, whatever the public properties say for parks, bridges, okay, uh, garden, anything which can be used by public in general, which is not limited to private use. So anything which can be used by public in general, it is considered as a public properties. And natural resource, for example, your mineral resources, okay, forest resources, these are all national wealth. Now remember one thing, when I speak about national wealth, all the personal wealth should be deducted. For example, I'll give an example here to understand this. Just for example, if a citizen of a country, say for if a citizen of a country holds a government bond. So government bond is a sort of a certificate where you invest some money in government bond, and government is bound to give you some interest against the money you deposited with the government. So here government bond is a liability for the government point of view, because government has to give interest as a reward. So here if a citizen of a country holds a government bond, if citizen is holding a government bond, it's a personal wealth, because it is exclusively owned by that citizen, owned by that individual. But from the point of view of a government, it's a liability. So it should not be the part of a nation's wealth. So it is not a part of the nation's wealth. You got it? Government bond is something which is owned by an individual, but since it becomes a liability of the government to pay the interest, then it is not a national wealth anymore. So to calculate the national wealth, you must remember private owned stock must be deducted. Then the next one is production. Production is something, creation of goods or services for the purpose of selling them in the market. Whatever goods or services are produced for the exclusive purpose of selling in the market is called production. Now market sale here, for example, if a girl make a doll out of clay, it is for the personal playing purpose. But if the same clay has been used for forming the dolls in large number for the purpose of selling in the market, then it is a production. So if you are producing something for your personal use, it is not a production unless it is made for public or it is large number in order to sell in the market to get some income by selling that. So production whole purpose is to sell them in the market. Now let's understand what are the factors of production. So factors of the productions are the assistance of production. That means these are some factors which helps you in the production process, because production is not a one person game, it includes a chain of people. Okay, so you see here land, labor, capital, entrepreneurship. Usually we have four factors of production. So land means, remember one thing, land is a natural gift. So here land represents a natural gift, but the one thing which you need to be remember here, all those natural gift, natural resources which can be regulated. That means their supply which can be controlled by human. Say for solar energy, water energy, their supply cannot be controlled by humans. For example, coal, land, although they are natural resources, they are given by the nature, but their supply can be controlled by human. So land here represents natural resources. All those natural resources covered under this land fact as a means of production where their supply is exclusively controlled by humans. Then second is labor. Labor includes all the physical or mental labor, right? Mental labor here, that means the people who are working in IT sector, they are using their intellectual services, they're giving their intellectual services to make a software, therefore. And the physical labor means the labor you see who helps in the construction of a building and whatsoever, right? So here the basic difference of physical and mental labor. Then there is a capital. Capital can be produced capital is divided into two parts. That means capital which is produced and it is a means of production. So here you need to understand about capital. Capital is essentially a produced means of production. There are two important short definitions. You may say as that it is a produced, that is it is produced by man. Okay, and it is not a gift of nature, it is produced by man, therefore it is termed as a produced capital. And it is a means of production, that means it is used as an input in producing other goods. You invest capital to give some output, right, to produce something, therefore it is a means of production. You use it as an input to give some output. Then entrepreneurship. So entrepreneurship or entrepreneur is that person who takes the initiative for production process. That means he organizes, he manages the finances, he brings the ideas, coordination, management, right, innovations. These are the functions of an entrepreneur. So he is basically the person who invests the capital and who uses the brain for behind this production. Then last is input and output. Here goods and services used in the process of production is called input. Very simple. Whatever goods you are using in the process of production. So here simply all the factors of productions, land, labor, capital and entrepreneur can be termed as input. And goods and services which comes out of the production process is output. So that means by employing this land, labor, capital, entrepreneurship, whatever in output you are getting, whatever goods you have produced, which is finished goods, which is ready to be sold in the market, those are considered as a output.